Hi everybody, I hope you're enjoying the videos that are on the channel and the content that we have created thus far. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about ways to prepare yourself for a delivery in South Africa. I was actually speaking to my husband earlier on and we were talking about some of the bills that we incurred with having given birth. So we were on a health plan and we incurred a few extra costs that I thought maybe it would be a great heads up to everybody. So the health plan is different to a medical aid in the sense that they cover certain things and they don't cover other things, and it's more like an insurance than it is a medical aid. And what they cover is also limited depending on which health plan you're on. So they paid a portion of the hospital fee, but there was like about 3,567 that was still outstanding from the 30,000 rand that they paid to the hospital for my delivery. That excluded the costs for the pediatrician who looked at my little one after she was born. It also excluded the costs for the anesthesiologist. It also excluded the costs for the gynecologist that assisted me through my delivery. So we had all those costs that, accumulated afterwards. And I thought it would be an interesting topic to speak about for what you could be prepared for. I know a lot of medical aids cover the majority of the costs, but I really think that it is worth, if you've got a medical aid, to get gap cover. Gap cover does unfortunately not cover for medical insurance or health plans, but they cover for pure medical aids. And if you can't afford like a outright medical aid with day-to-day benefits, maybe looking at something like a hospital plan that has a little bit of day-to-day benefits, or a hospital plan with a medical aid that doesn't have day-to-day benefits, which turns out to be a little bit more cost effective. What that allows you to do is to have at least some cover should something major happen and you need medical care. But for the day-to-day stuff, I think we've come a long way as South Africans. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have medical aid. I'm saying for those parents who cannot afford to fully get medical aid, that there are different options that are out there for your budget. So if you can afford medical aid, please go ahead and get the full package of medical aids. There's great medical aid companies out in South Africa, and there's great gap covers that are out there in South Africa. Even with the medical aids, they don't quite cover everything at times, and that's where the gap cover then comes in, that will assist you for you not to find yourself in a situation where you're stuck with all these bills. So that's what I learned giving birth to my little one, is that there were extra costs that came with giving birth to her, even though I was at a private hospital, even though I had medical insurance or health insurance, as they sometimes call it, but there were those extra costs that I still needed to fork out of my own pocket. So it's just something to heads up on and to be aware of when it comes to South African giving birth. And yeah, even with medical aids, like I said, sometimes they don't cover for everything, and having a gap cover then works in your favor, because then you can at least cover the majority of the cost using the gap cover. If you can't afford other, maybe putting away a little bit of money to cover the costs once they come. I know at the end of the day, some of the doctors do allow for you to pay them in installments afterwards, but better prepared than having installments to pay and a little one. Cool. I hope you enjoyed this topic. It was short and sweet. It's not too long. Just a heads up to parents to get gap cover if you've got full medical aid. If you don't have medical aid and you've got a health insurance, to try and put away money if you can, and maybe speak to the people that will be assisting you with your birth for a way to pay them back. And yeah, hope you all plan well for your little deliveries and enjoy your little ones. For those mommies that are first time mommies, enjoy the experience. Try not to stress too much, plan as much as you can in advance, and yeah, everything will go well. Bye.